Hello, yes, it's me. The old git is back. Let me just get my sound right. Hopefully that's okay. Now, look, uh, after Christmas, this is the first time that I've actually gone live. I did another video, the same as this one, but it was awful, and I'm trying my best to do the thing right. So, the old git is live and on YouTube right now, and you can watch this video. And if you've got any questions, there's a chat thing. I would appreciate somebody just to say hello, how are you, or something, so that I know that you're hearing me. Now we're back in 2025. That's where we are now. 2024 was a bit rubbish, and I think 2025, unfortunately, the old git says probably going to be worse. And why is that? Well, because look at what's going on. I mean, big controversy over these Pakistani grooming gangs, paedophiles that they are. And why does it happen? I mean, we've got so many of these coming into the country now, and most of them are young men of fighting age, and they don't seem to, when they get here, respect anything about our culture, our way of life. They start calling for Sharia law, and it's not right. I mean, you know, we bring these people in with welcome them with open arms, and what they do, they kick sand in your face and basically try to make this country, Europe and the UK, into the, sorry I have to say it, the shithole they've just come from. And I don't mean France, I mean the countries they've left. And, you know, other people deport these people. They say, oh, they're not criminals, all these do-gooders, all these, I don't know, dinner party do-gooders, I don't know what to call them. They sit there, oh, they've been from war-torn countries. Most of them are not. They're not. And these are the people who are coming on the streets. Things like crime, like knife crimes gone up, rapes gone up, all these kind of things. And there's no use denying it because the figures are there. Although the government don't want to give them to you, I can tell you that if you go and look on some of the sites, you can get the figures from Holland and Germany and France, and they can and you can see what's happening, and they actually give you the breakdown of how many crimes have been committed by the migrants, which England are reluctant to do. And who's protecting them? Who do you think? Yes, you're right. This new government, this new awful government, who's supposed to be Labour, they're nothing to do with the Labour Party. They're communists, Marxists, idiots. And Keir Starmer, the biggest, he's the most hated man in England right now. And Jess Phillips second, and Angela Rayner third, or the other way round. I mean, Angelina building 1.5 million houses, and what for? For migrants, not for you, not for people who've been on waiting lists for years and years and years, not for people who are sleeping on the streets, ex-servicemen, and people just can't get a house. For migrants, what do they do with them? Let's just have a look at some arriving, shall we, just to remind you how they get here and what they do whilst they're entering the country. There they are, that's enough of that, isn't it? There they are, basically, chanting one of the Islamic prayers that they do, and waiting for them on the beaches, a new mobile phone, nice blanket wrapped around them, give them a hot drink, put them on a nice air-conditioned coach and take them to a 4-star hotel and give them money every week, and away you go. You forget one thing, these are criminals. go to any other country in the world and enter without a passport, I don't care what you claim you are, you're sent back to where you come from. Why do you think that is? Because you've broken the law. And it's no different. I'm sorry if my sounds, I get really agitated, so my sound might go up. But they are criminals. The minute they step foot on British soil, they've done it illegally and they are criminals. That's it. I'm sorry. You didn't come the correct way. There is correct ways to come. You came from a safe country, which is France. You have no right to do what you've just done. You've just broken into the country. But these are the people that that we don't want in the country. I'm all for immigration. Why not? Bring people who can help and support the country and bring the skills that you need to make the country prosper. Of course, bring them. But it's not happening, is it? We're getting the dregs of humanity. And just moving on, because the main subject today is the treatment of women and young girls, the paedophiles from the Pakistani grooming gangs, who are basically, they have no respect. But let's have a look how they think about women. And I'm just going to show you a couple of videos just to help you out with that. For example, here's a guy who says that women are all about supply and demand.
If your wife is disobedient, rude, abusive, not kind, not a good wife, ditch her, ya akhi. What are you keeping her for? You're still young. Marry someone else. See, it is demand and supply. Don't laugh. I know you will hate me for this. Anytime I write on Twitter, people attack me like this. They don't understand. They don't have knowledge. It is demand and supply. There are so many women out there you can get married to. And if you get married to, a woman's best strategy is to be a slave in the house. Sheikh, where is women power? Not here. If you manage to be submissive and treating your husband with humility and weakness, he's like a ring in your finger. But if he marries another man in the shape of a woman, he says, do this. Why don't you do that? Okay, can you do this? No, you do that. And she is another man in his house. This is not a healthy marriage. Yes, he is obliged to be kind to her, to love her, to shelter her, to provide for her. But at the same time, she is also obliged to be feminine, to be a woman, to be fragile. If they manage to have this chemistry, you have a long, successful marriage, inshallah.
Well, there you go. She must be a slave in the house. She must be suppressed by the man. She must do everything he says and you'll be a happy marriage. Basically, that's not how women should be treated, and I think it's wrong. But I want to keep this theme going because the whole point why I'm sort of pointing the picture and showing how these people from this community treat their women and think about their women is probably the reason why they think they can go out and groom 10, 11, 12-year-old girls just because they're non-Muslim. You see, they're non-Muslim, they have no value, and you can do what you want with a non-Muslim. You know, they shout for Sharia law, and they'll take over the whole world with Islam, and basically, if you don't convert, then you die. Wonderful. These are the people that you're bringing into the country. Now, again, I must stress, not all Muslims are like that. Loads of Muslims that live in England are the most nicest people you can meet. They just want to get on with their life. They can follow their religion, and they do follow their religion. People like Zia Youssef or who's the other, Ben Habib, many famous. Mo Farah, he's Muslim. Many Muslim people who just integrate into society. They get along with society. They don't try and change society, but they live their life according to Islam, and that's good for them and good for us, and everybody gets on. But they're not these fundamentalists, these radicals, these Islamists who want to change the world scare them poor Muslims into submission. Well, I'll ask you a question soon for the people who want to live well in the West, or the Muslims that want to live well in the West. But meanwhile, he's not the only guy that sort of tells women and has a go at women for what they do or they should be doing or they're not doing. Here we have, I call him a gangster preacher, but listen to what he's got to say.
Sisters nowadays, they're wearing abaya, Allahumma barik, but they got this belt across their waist. Why are you trying to show your figure, man? A woman that shows her figure would not come 500 years close to Jannah, bro, because she's showing her figure. This is a hadith. A woman that is clothed but yet naked. What does that mean, bro? A woman that is dressed modest, but yet you can see every figure. For what? Who are you trying to fool? And you got thirsty brothers. Ah, mashallah, sister. Assalamu alaikum. Am I lying though? Man, them are going with this trend, bro. Islamically, as a man, we're meant to wear baggy things. Not baggy things such as like, oh, you know what? We can still roll our trousers up. Wear it above your ankle. Since when is it okay for us to wear tight clothes, bro? Some man would look like they're wearing leggings, bro. Leggings. Why is your clothes so tight, bro? Sisters nowadays, they're wearing abaya, Allahumma barik, but they got this belt across their waist. Why are you trying to show your figure, man? A woman that shows her figure.
Yes, okay. We've heard you once. Did you get the picture? The guy said, "Hey, bro, what's with these women wearing? What's wrong with letting women express themselves? Women are equal to men, and in your case, mate, probably better than you." This oppressive way of life can't be good for anybody. It just does nothing to women. Are just what I know that I talked to one of my Asian friends, one of my Pakistani friends. Now listen, my views I tell to my Pakistani friends. They know, and they've been friends for many years, because a lot of the ones that I associate with have assimilated into the UK way of life, but they keep their religion. They only eat halal meat. They don't drink alcohol, although some of them do. Some of my friends do. But basically, they're Muslim, and they remain Muslim. Only these idiots denounce them. You're not a real Muslim. You're not. They are. The ones who are these fanatical Islamists, they're not real Muslims, because I'm sure. And I have read the Quran, but I can't remember it all. But I do know that it doesn't preach hate. It's basically Old Testament, to be honest. But anyway, I don't want to digress too much. So there you go. Another one saying women should be this. No, it's absolutely ridiculous that they control women the way they do. And these guys go out, and I know, because a long time, I'm 71 years old now, and a long time ago, one of my Pakistani friends, I used to DJ be a DJ years and years ago, when they had vinyl records and things. And I used to work at a place called Tiffany's, owned by Eric Morley, and the Tiffany's Group, which was quite good. And one night, one of my friends said to me, he said, I hadn't got my car, and I was only in my 20s, so we're going back sometimes, because I'm 71 now. And he says, "Oh, I'll give you a lift in my car." I'm not going to say his name, because unfortunately he died about 2 years ago. And that's why I don't want to say his name, because he said, I've just got to go down to Shelton, which Shelton's in Stoke-on-Trent. It's a town where, not a town, but an area where a lot of Asian people live, to see somebody. I said, "Oh, okay, I don't mind, I'm not in a hurry." So I finished work. It was about 2:30 in the morning when I left the discotheque, and he drove down to Shelton, and he says, "You coming in?" I said, "Coming away." He said, "In this house." I said, "What for?" "Oh, it's brilliant." "Why?" "Oh, there's girls here." I said, "I'm not interested in girls, I want to go home." "You said you give me a lift up." "Yeah, well, give me 10 minutes and I'll be back." I said, "Okay." So he went in, and he was not 10 minutes, and I was stuck in Shelton, and there's no buses, so I had to sit in the car and wait for him. And he came back about 35, 40 minutes 35, 40 minutes back, and I said, come on, man. You said, I didn't say broke, because we didn't used to say that in them days. I said, come on, man. I want to get home. I said, I've been working all night. And I'm sorry, he said, I just got carried away. What did you go in there? Well, I asked him, what's in there? He said, women. I said, well, that's what you said. I said, what? It's not is it for prostitutes? No. He says, when the lads go out, they all go different discotheques, and then they pick up girls and bring them back, and then we all join in. I said, what do you mean join in? He said, you know. He says, we have them. He says, if they scream, we still do it, and if they don't scream, we still do it. That made me feel sick. He's my friend. And I thought, oh, no. Even then. But I didn't know that it was a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know. And only recently that I thought about it. I thought, hang on a minute. That's grooming. That's what they were doing back then. So if it's been going on for that long. He was Pakistani, and the house belonged to, I don't know who. I'm not going to go further because I can't say anymore. Only that's what I was told, and that's what happened. And that, on my life, that happened. And I will say that I never asked him for a lift home again. And I'd rather get a taxi. I don't want to know. Even them days, I didn't want. I mean, for me, that's a bad thing. If a man goes to see a prostitute, I'll say, okay, she knows what she's doing, and he's paying for it, whatever, because it's legal in some countries, in some countries it isn't. But that was grooming, wasn't it? It's the same. So, although he stayed my friend, my respect for him was quite low, but I still spoke to him for many years. And when I left England, well, I didn't have anything to do with him. Because I thought it was outrageous. But I didn't know that was going on generally. Now, moving on, I then started I worked a lot with Asian people in the business that I was in, and I worked with a lot of Sikh people and Hindu people who come from the same subcontinent as the Pakistanis do. And to be honest with you, I couldn't have had a better time. They were great people to go out with. I don't drink now, but I used to drink, and when you go out with a Sikh guy, he wants to drink, and you have a great time, and they're very respectful. They invite you to their homes, their wives and daughters. They're great. They mix the same as an English family would, and they've already assimilated into the Western culture. Although Sikhs are very strong with their religion. Sikhs are looking for their own country, which I think is in Amritsar in India, and they're not doing it through killing people, they're doing it through negotiation. They're civilized people. And same with Hindus. One of my best friends, Narendra, I'll call you his name because he was a great guy. He used to every time, wherever you met him, if you go to his house, he would get, they used to call it the dijka. They used to get a saucepan and turn it upside and play it like a drum. And he could play it like a drum, and him and his wife would sing, and he'd make you sing as well. We had some great times. But on the other side of the coin were the Pakistanis, who were ever insular. Their women stayed out of sight if you ever visited their house. And they kept them that way. And I think they were scared by what was being preached in the mosques and what is still being preached in the mosque, which is, if you do this, if you get westernized. I heard from one of my friends, they told his mother that if his son doesn't start coming to the mosque, the whole family will be cast out, and they won't, if they die, they won't get a Muslim burial. I mean, that's how they put fear into them. So don't let's tar them all with the same brush, and maybe they are controlled by these radical Islamists who want to take over the world. But anyway, moving on. So there is some good things happening. For example, let's have a look at this video. And again, before I move on to say, look, down the bottom there, bestbeforetv.com. You can go and watch it anytime you want. Just go there. It's totally free, 24 hours a day. And it's all vintage TV, TV series, films, and even the adverts that I put on, they're not real. Well, they're real, but they're from the 60s. the 70s advert, so it's that kind of thing. I don't make any money from it, it's just purely there for entertainment, and I've had over 105,000 hits on that website. It's also goes out on other places as well. And if you want to get in touch, bestbeforetv@gmail.com, or you can go to X at X, which is best before T. So get in touch with me, let me know. Or now, this chat thing is here. It says sign in. Do I have to sign in? Oh, why do I have to sign in? Oh, well, I'm not going to do it. Hopefully, it'll let me know if people have got in touch. But say hello. Say hello, Michael, you old git, because that's what they call me. This is your first live broadcast on YouTube, although I've done many videos, which you can also watch on Best Before TV because they're all recorded and they go there. So this one hopefully will go there as well. Right, moving on, as I said, let's just take a quick look at this. I'm not a scholar, so I don't really know. Maybe I'm wrong. But that guy there was, noticed been round, there was a religious, Christian religious symbol on the floor in front of the Christmas tree, which people had got to enjoy. Because well, there you go. So it seems that in Switzerland they've banned the burqa. Now, I think that's a good idea, not just because I find it that women have to walk around that. I find it offensive to me, because when I speak to somebody, I want to see their face and see if they're genuine. But it's also, I think it's a great thing for the women. You know, the women can be free. Now, you hear a lot of these young girls saying, "Oh no, I wear it because I'm proud of my religion. I want to." It doesn't say that you have to do that. It doesn't say. In a lot of the Muslim countries, they're more cosmopolitan than the West in some cases. And in Turkey, you don't have to wear a burqa. And I don't think you should wear it in a Western country. It puts you, it sets you aside, and it makes you into a target for stupid people who want to attack something different that they don't understand. So I think that Switzerland, and it started from the 1st of January 2025, will they enforce that law? No burqa, no burqa no more, no burqa no more, no. Will it be enforced? I don't know. Maybe they won't. £900 or £1,000 fine. Will they just pay it and carry on wearing it? I don't know. But I think it's a step in the right direction to assimilating people, and especially women, and giving them the freedom. Emancipation of the Muslim woman. And let them. Are you men afraid? I asked the question. Are you men afraid that your women, if they're not controlled, they'll not marry you because you're an idiot? Maybe. But here's the question, okay? I've got one more little video to show you, but here's the question. Now we're talking about the freedom and the rights of women and children in the West, and they're tantamount. They're precious. Nobody touches children. You touch a child in the UK, you do something bad, and you end up, if you go to prison, the prisoners even have a code of conduct, and they will take care of you. For example, that horrible, terrible creature that murdered his daughter with a cricket bat and then fled to Pakistan, and they've got him back now, and he's been sent to, sent him to Belmarsh and got a life sentence with his second wife, and I think his cousin also went to prison. But he systematically beat, punished, burnt that child to death. A pure evil man who has no respect for human life and children's lives. Well, I think he went to Belmarsh prison in England, and after his sentence, and they've already slashed his face open with a lid of a tuna fish, can of tuna fish, you know, the lid. Yeah, they've already slashed it, and I think he'll get a lot. And that happens to a lot of people who end up in prison for doing bad things to children. And you know what? I have no sympathy there, because that little girl was a lovely little girl, and now she's dead. And all these other people, I'm going to a serious question, who, for example, went out on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, isn't it? And with a truck and drove through people and killed 14 people. The one that drove through the market in Berlin, people coming out stabbing people just for the sake of it, because they think they have the right to, because they're trying to prove some point or trying to make out that Islam expects them to do this, and whatever it is they do. Now, as I've said all the way through this video, there is some beautiful and lovely Muslim people, and I know very many, and they know me, and they know my views. Now, I'll say to them, and I've said to them before, and I've said to you, I'm going to say the same thing to you. You are part of that community. You know who these people are. There's somebody, they could be your family member, your brother, uncle, cousin, father, who have these views, who intend to do harm. You know, you came to this country for a better life. You won't get a better life with these radicals in your community. They only make you into more of a target, because, believe me, English people are very accepting of everybody, but there's only so much that they will take before the worm will turn. And why should good, honest Muslims suffer for the sake of these Islamists? And we know who they are, or you know where they are. So it's up to you to get rid. They don't belong in your culture. They don't belong in your community. Get rid of them. I see them out on the streets praying in the streets. Hundreds of mosques all over the place, but they have to pray in the streets. Why do they do that? They're showing their power. We can do this. But you're showing this power to people who eventually will get completely and utterly fed up of seeing it happening on the streets of the UK and in Europe. And I said, the worm will turn. So you, not moderate Muslims, just Muslims. I don't like giving people labels of moderate, this, that, left, right wing, left. People are either right or they're wrong. Doesn't matter if they're left or right, if they're either right or wrong. And on this subject of grooming of small children by Pakistani grooming gangs is awful. And you know who they are. In your communities, you know. Give them up. Make Britain proud of you. Make Britain proud of the Muslim community. That's what I would like to see. Put them on par with the Indian and the Hindu and the Sikh person and the Chinese person who come and make their life, but they stick to their religion, and that's fine. Why shouldn't you? But we need Muslims to be, as it says in their own book, to be part of the loving religion. It is a good religion. Now, just before I go, the type of thing that really upsets everybody, this is a mild thing in Mali, but much more goes on, where they go and deface churches and they pull down gravestones and things. But just watch this. This is the type of thing that makes me angry. Let's see what you think of this.
I will go, inshallah, recite some Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون. جزاكم الله خير. إخوة مسلمون، أنا مسلم الحمد لله. نحن في روم في ميلان نقرأ القرآن. We recite القرآن الحمد لله.
Well, there you go. This is the boy. That's the man himself, yeah. Who does he think he is? Now, why I played that is because there's a lot of that going on. Monuments to the monuments of fallen soldiers and all sorts of things like that getting destroyed or defaced, and it's not right. Nobody's going to go and destroy your history. Can you imagine if somebody went to Mecca and started spray painting in Mecca and doing the things that you do in this country with so much disrespect? You see, there's a group of these idiot people there. There was a symbol on the ground, obviously a Christian symbol, and they were spinning on their heels to deface it. How disrespectful is that? Okay? And also, the people who are there to see the Christmas tree and celebrate Christmas, as they do in Italy, because that's where it was, probably gobsmacked to see somebody doing that. And especially somebody like him, who has got clothes on his back, a roof over his head, money in his pocket, doctors see him, food in his belly, been taken care of by the Italian government. And that's how you repay. That's what you do, just because it's not an Islamic celebration. They should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, if you don't want to join in, don't join in, but don't stop other people from doing what they want to do. It doesn't matter whether you're whatever religion you are, you can join in the spirit of Christmas because it's the end of a year, it's a new beginning. You don't have to look at the religious side. Many people who celebrate Christmas are not religious at all. They just like, it's a party time where they get time off work and things are nice. But it doesn't matter whether you're religious or not religious. You do not disrespect the other people's enjoyment. Just as if at Eid, for example, if it was when you were doing your fasting and I wanted to eat and I was my Muslim friends, I would probably, out of respect to them, not eat any food in front of them because I think it's bad. So respect goes two ways, doesn't it? Anyway, the old gits had his rant, and it's the turkey. Oh no, no more turkey. Hopefully, I didn't see the messages because I pressed something and it's asking me to sign into my own message. So we'll look at the next one. Hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll be doing many more live, and I would like some reaction. And if you have left me a message, that's good. If you haven't, don't forget down the bottom, and you'll be able to watch this video again, I'm sure, in many other places. Until the next time, I have to say, it's the old git signing off, saying Happy New Year. It's not going to be one if things carry on the way they are, but we can but hope. Until the next time, the old git says, be safe, see you soon.